Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a first look type of video. We have some casting news as well for The Walking Dead's Daryl Dixon spin-off series. Alright dudes, so definitely wanted to go ahead and give our thoughts on these first pictures we have from AMC, as well as for the casting news for the Daryl Dixon spin-off series, which I think is being filmed either right now or maybe has, is just about to start, that type of thing, for this 2023 spin-off series. So we know The Walking Dead splitting off into 3 spin-off series, and then we also have Fear the Walking Dead, which is still airing. One of those spin-off series, I guess it'll be the second to air, is going to be The Walking Dead's Daryl spin-off, called, I think, just Daryl Dixon. So we don't know the official release date yet for the Daryl spin-off series, but most likely it'll probably be maybe second, third quarter 2023, so like late spring, summertime, something like that. And then probably the Rick and Michonne spin-off series will be a fall release, I think. So we'll see if that's how it works out. But it looks like Dead City will be the first one to air, which is the Negan and Maggie spinoff series. And then we'll see the Daryl spinoff series second, where Daryl is in France, I believe, Paris or Europe, somewhere there. We'll see. There might be different locations where, he shows up in this spinoff. He's also said that he doesn't go there of his own volition. So somehow he kind of ends up there without, really wanting to be there. He's dislocated there for some reason. Somebody, maybe the CRM or something, has moved him there. So we have this first, picture of him here, and some different people in the background there. Looks like they have spears, something like this. So, where this one will be in his journey, we're going to have to wait and see until we see it. But there's that one of him kind of tied up, it looks like, and talking to somebody there. This one here, which is kind of cool, and it will be nice to see the different kind of environments in the Daryl spin-off series, and that, you're kind of going back to what's referred to as the old world. Us in the West and stuff, we typically think of like Europe and, France, England, Germany as kind of like the old world. So you still have a lot of the older buildings have just been kind of, refixed up and everything, and renovated and that. And it's just really cool to kind of see, the different kind of older environments that we're going to get to see in Paris and in Europe. Will be really sweet. So you have him here with a horse, it looks like, and no motorcycle on this one. So I don't know if he's going to be able to find a makeshift motorcycle there in France. I guess we'll have to see how that works out, and wherever he's getting the gasoline from. Not sure at this point. So it's cool, right? Just a little something. His attire looks different as well, so that's also very cool. It kind of feels like a Walking Dead adventure type of series, which is it's going to be fun. It looks like it's going to be fun. Not too much else to say other than the environment should be really cool to get to see. Totally different place, totally different continent in The Walking Dead. And this one here with a bunch of walkers coming in, they kind of look familiar as zombies. They don't really, like, these are our first look at zombies in the Daryl spinoff. So French zombies, I guess, ever since we've seen World Beyond, where they had maybe some faster zombies in that one. We'll have to see if they have different types of zombies in Europe, and if maybe some of them are faster, smarter, different in any kind of way, which will be cool for them to do in the spinoff. Maybe they could throw in some that are kind of runners or just a little bit faster than the ones in the U.S., which would be cool to see. So not too much to say other than just the zombies look cool. Should be fun, and got a lot of overgrown here. Green, maybe vines and stuff like this growing in, shrubs growing in and around, because it has been so many years now since the start of the zombie apocalypse as well. So the environment should be really cool to see in this one. And then we do have some casting news for kind of our first sort of cast for the series. So Norman Reedus is going to be joined by Clémence Poésy and Adam Nagaitis, who is in Chernobyl. So I guess Clémence Poésy is a French actress, and it says that she's going to be playing Isabelle. who's described as, quote, a member of a progressive religious group who joins forces with Daryl on a journey across France and finds herself confronting her dark past in Paris. So we have maybe our first French cast here for the Daryl spinoff. And then we have Nagaitis, who's going to play Quinn. He actually looks a little bit like Dwight, kind of. A little bit, I think. A, quote, displaced Brit who has become powerful in post-apocalyptic Paris as a black marketeer and the owner of an underground nightclub. So that sounds pretty cool. I guess you get one French, one English, people to join, cast members to join Daryl for this one. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see how many seasons the Daryl spinoff series gets, if it's just a couple years or something, but it'll be really cool to see new environment and everything. And it is kind of surprising that we don't really have, it doesn't seem like we have anybody from the original Walking Dead series joining Daryl for it. Now, this was supposed to be a Daryl Carol spinoff, but if you guys followed the news with that and everything, Melissa McBride couldn't relocate and do everything that would have been involved with going to Paris, going to Europe, doing all that. It's a huge sign up, huge big deal, something to sign on for if you're going to do it. So she decided not to, and we see in the Walking Dead finale episode, Daryl kind of leaves. He kind of rides off and kind of says goodbye to her and everything. But it is surprising to see that nobody else is going to be joining him for his spinoff. He's going to be by himself, lone wolf type of thing. But I guess that makes sense for Daryl to, for his character to be there on his own and not really have anybody else with him. Like with the other spinoffs, you have Negan and Maggie, or you have Rick and Michonne, so you have kind of a supporting cast. But it looks like for this one, Daryl will probably be getting an entirely new supporting cast for it, and they won't be bringing any Walking Dead originals across with him. I wonder if we'll even see anybody in the first episode. It kind of feels like the way the Walking Dead series ended off with the series finale with him saying goodbye and kind of leaving. I'd almost say it kind of looks like we're probably not going to see Daryl at the Commonwealth, or we're probably not going to see him with anybody else. So maybe we won't see any scenes in the spinoff series with Carol at all, or any of the others as well, because I just don't know who you would use for that. So it kind of feels like he's already left, and in the spinoff, we'll just see him, how he gets to France, and then see things kind of begin from there without anybody else from the original series most likely being involved. It should be really awesome, though. It kind of reminds me of like 28 Days Later or something like that, which is kind of a classic, one of the best zombie movies ever made. So this should be really good. It's kind of like the switch in environment to going to Paris to going to Europe is almost like, that the environment is such a huge shift. That's like a character in and of itself to see the new environments and everything. So it should be really cool, and I hope it is, maybe somewhat inspired by 28 Days Later or something like that, because that is a really awesome zombie movie if you guys have never seen it. Just a couple questions for today. T-Rex 10 says, why will Maggie leave Herscher to go to New York? So Carol is not going with Daryl, he said. So yeah, that's what it is. Carol's not going with Daryl. She was going to. That's how they had announced the Carol Daryl spinoff series, but it just didn't work out that way. That's a lot of work to have to sign on to, and with family and stuff, she doesn't have to do it. And I think she said she was going to do it because she thought it would be in the United States, and then she found out that, oh no, it's going to be in Europe for maybe years possibly. So easier for her to say, what, I probably shouldn't sign on to that. I don't know if I could keep going over to Europe however many years you guys do, which it could be a few years of a spinoff. You don't know, right? So yeah, that makes sense, and it's okay. Like it'll still be good either way. I don't know if it would be that much better of a series by adding Carol. It's kind of maybe it's not really necessary, to have her there for it. Although it would be cool to have her to work with, Norman Reedus, to have her play off each other, because they play off each other really well. But if there's so much traveling involved and all that, and maybe some action and stuff, it might be difficult for her. She is getting older and stuff too. So is Norman Reedus also. But as far as why Maggie will leave Herscher and go to New York, We don't know yet. We have to see what happens in the Dead City spinoff. But luckily for your question, T-Rex, that'll be the first spinoff series to start is Dead City. So you're going to get to see pretty soon why they go to New York, and don't know. I'm predicting that I think Negan will follow Maggie on unwillingness to her or against her will. He'll kind of follow her there because he still wants forgiveness for what he did. But they do both have families back at the Commonwealth. Maybe they just feel like they're safe and secure, so they're okay to kind of go off and do that after a certain amount of time or something. Maybe they're looking for Rick or something. Shane K says, I seriously doubt we will see any of the characters from the main show on the spinoffs, especially Carol. The Daryl Dixon show was originally supposed to be a Daryl and Carol show when it was first announced, but Melissa McBride did not want to continue playing the role, so now it's just a Daryl show. Well, I think she did want to continue with the role there, Shane K. It's because of the location and everything. So that's what it is, and it's you can understand why, right? It's kind of obvious. Lloyd Bonafide said, I'm not understanding why people think that The Walking Dead is over. There's literally 3 spin-off shows with fan favorites and Fear the Walking Dead. And we all know more shows will come. The Walking Dead finale honestly wasn't sad since we already knew it wasn't going to die, and more shows will air in the future. So that's Lloyd Bonafide. Well, it is a legitimate ending for the original series, Lloyd, because that's where the comics finished off at. So you finished the original content that the series is being adapted from. What they're doing now with the Daryl spinoff, Dead City, and Rick and Michonne, these are additional spinoff series. So there's no telling how they'll be received. There's no telling how many seasons there'll be. There's no telling, if people are, how many people are going to be that interested. You're starting something new, and it's not going to have the same cast. It's not going to be in the same locations for, maybe any of them, actually. They'll all be probably in different locations. The Commonwealth may not even be featured. So even though The Walking Dead is still going to continue as a universe at AMC, it is a completion of the original storyline. They have finished off everything that they had to work with originally from the original comics. So I'm really happy with the way they're doing things, that they've decided to go ahead and do these additional spin-off series. But I don't look at it as the series is just continuing. That original run series is over. Like, you're not going to see Rosita in any of the spin-off series. You're not going to see, obviously, you're not going to see probably Mercer or any of the other cast members from the original, Eugene and everybody else you're used to seeing in the original Walking Dead series. Those characters are still at the Commonwealth. So you're not going to see any of them. Carol, for example, you're not going to see any of them continuing in the spinoff. So it is a legitimate end. It's just that they've decided that they're going to try for more. Walking Dead still has a big following, so they want to try for more spinoffs. But it is a legitimate ending, even though they're going to still be doing Walking Dead shows. It is a legitimate end to the original show. That's the way I want. That's the way I want to say. At least that's the way I look at it. It's up to you how you want to look at it, but that's the way I look at it. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. Please share, please favorite, and subscribe at the bottom. And I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.